Today marks 1 week since the deadly shooting in Wister, which claimed the life of LeFlore County Deputy Thomas Walker LeMay and injured Wister Police Chief Andy Thompson. Officials say it all started around 11 o'clock on Sunday. According to an affidavit, LeMay was approached by Miguel Lara, who wanted to kick out his son, Edgar Lara, from his home. LeMay approached Edgar, who told him to leave. LeMay returned to the sheriff's office and conducted a plan to return with reinforcements. Just before 3 units returned to the Wister residence, including LeMay. Officials say Lara immediately opened fire, prompting a standoff for several hours. LeMay was tragically killed. Thompson was shot multiple times, but is expected to make a full recovery. In a press conference Monday, LeFlore County Sheriff Rodney Derryberry called it an ambush.
They were ambushed during the trespassing call. Numerous of us was pinned down.
Lara is being held without bail and is charged with first-degree murder, 8 counts of shooting with intent to kill, and use of a simulated bomb device. His next hearing is June 10th in LeFlore County. You can find ways to help both Thompson and LeMay's families right now on our website, 5newsonline.com. A proposed subdivision by the airport in Siloam Springs has residents worried about safety and questioning why exactly the site was chosen. 5 News reporter Laura Castleman was at a public meeting tonight and spoke directly to concerned citizens and state representatives. Laura.
Yeah, Lauren, Siloam Springs residents packed the airport tonight wanting to know more about a recent proposal to build a Cloud View Estates, a single-family development. Of everyone I spoke to said the same thing. There are so many places in Siloam Springs to build, so why here and why so close to the airport?
Residents say it's not the growth they're worried about, it's their airport.
We're here to try to make sure that we keep our airport intact, and the aviation community in the future has a great airport for economic development, for safety.
Jonathan Barnett says the Siloam Springs Airport has a lot of growth potential to the north, and if the subdivisions are built, that landlocks the airport from expanding in any direction.
You can't have bigger aircraft come in. It restricts the aviation community for future development.
Arkansas State Senator Tyler Dees also attended the meeting. He said development in Siloam Springs is great and needed, but not so close to the airport.
We've got to find affordable housing for the community. Growth is happening here in Northwest Arkansas, but I can tell you there's other places to build a housing development. There's only one airport. You can't move it.
Despite city staff recommending the project move forward and feedback from the Federal Aviation Administration
states that this residential subdivision would not be in conflict with the existing navigation easement and therefore would not be in conflict with the functionality of Smithfield Airport.
The Siloam Springs Planning Commission still denied the preliminary plat permit for the development.
The motion fails 4-3.
During the meeting, commissioners raised concerns about road conditions, traffic impacts, and whether the development is compatible with the area near the airport. Donovan Hudgens serves in the Navy as a federal aviation safety officer, but today he is a concerned citizen.
Because of flowers, because of water, retention ponds, all the things that come along with residential communities, you're going to have increased bird activity. There's thousands of acres in Siloam Springs that could be used for residential development. The 80 acres off the end of the runway is probably not the best 80 to use.
I reached out to the developer for the project, but haven't heard back yet. The Siloam Springs Board of Directors will hear an appeal of the Planning Commission's decision at its May 5th meeting. Laura Castleman, 5 News.
Laura, thank you. Happening today, the 3rd annual Derby Challenge, where runners and walkers alike participated in a race to honor a celebrated military hero. The annual Derby Challenge was created to pay tribute to General William Darby, who founded the Army Rangers during World War II. He was a central figure in the liberation of Italy. Opening the challenge yesterday was Derby Days, a family-friendly outdoor celebration that saw historical reenactments and military exhibits. Those who participated could race in a 5K, 10K, or half marathon, and had the option to take it on as a ruck march with a weighted pack, or as one mom competed with a ruck and a baby.
This is the biggest thing I've ever wanted in life, is to be a mom, and he is just the most amazing thing in the world. And getting to finish with him was just magical. Pretty stinking cool.
The 2026 challenge also honored Master Sergeant Joshua Lloyd Wheeler, a member of the Cherokee Nation who was killed in Iraq during Operation Inherent Resolve. Wheeler was also a member of the elite Delta Force. Also happening today was the NWA Makers Market at the Washington County Fairgrounds. Over 300 local vendors set up shop, showing off everything and selling everything, from unique art and handmade furniture to local food and drinks, all made by NWA residents. We spoke with one vendor who says they love the opportunity the market allows for them to interact with the community.
We're loving it. We love our community that's around us. I feel like we are getting to know every person who's a vendor, and then all of our customers we're connecting really well with.
The next Makers Market is a pop-up at City Park in Fayetteville on May 2nd. The developments over the past several weeks involving Baptist Health in Fort Smith have caught the eye of the Fort Smith legislative delegation. The hospital announced plans to cut some services while pledging to expand in other areas. 5 News anchor Darren Bobb tells us the delegation is keeping a close watch on what's to come.
After meeting with Baptist leaders last week, Fort Smith State Rep Ryan Rose says the first thing he wants everyone to know is the hospital is not closing.
Baptist told us specifically that they are not closing their hospital. Something to the effect of, hey, if we were closing our hospital, we would not be investing $20 million.
In fact, Ryan says he was told Baptist ER and ICU will stay open as well.
They still will be able to have surgical services.
Ryan says Baptist leaders told him it all came down to the hospital losing money, and lots of it.
To stop the bleed, so to speak, certain things had to, according to them, certain things needed to be scaled down, trimmed down, so that it could become more solvent.
He says the hospital conveyed to the delegation their hope was that they could restructure and begin to level out operations and overhead. He says, though, based on that conversation,
and I'm not saying that I'm 100% confident that their plan's going to work. In fact, I pressed really hard in the meeting and I asked, well, tell us what you think is going to happen over the next 12 months or 5 years. The long and short was their goal is to remain in Fort Smith.
He also says whatever happens at Baptist, the level of health care in Fort Smith will not diminish.
Mercy Hospital is in a very good position. They have continued to expand, and they're going to continue to provide and expand the services that they provide for the River Valley and for the vast majority of people who may be losing their doctor or their services at Baptist.
Something Mercy Fort Smith CEO Ryan Gehrig told me several weeks ago.
We began scenario planning months ago, and the decision that was made across town definitely accelerated our need to respond and grow.
Bottom line, Representative Ryan says
the Baptist Health Hospital and Baptist Health in general are saying, as of right now, they are not closing. They're investing in their Fort Smith and Van Buren operations, and their intent is not to close down.
In Fort Smith, covering news where you live, I'm Darren Bobb, 5 News.